On the afternoon of May 31st, 1916, the North Sea appeared calm and lifeless. Gray clouds hung low over cold, rolling water. Nothing on the surface suggested that within hours, this quiet sea would become the deadliest battlefield on Earth. Beneath that silence moved more than 250 warships, carrying over 100,000 sailors. Two empires were about to collide in what would become the largest naval battle in history, the Battle of Jutland. By 1916, World War I was locked in a brutal stalemate on land. Trenches stretched across Europe, and millions were already dead. At sea, however, the war was about survival. Britain depended entirely on maritime trade. Food, fuel, weapons, everything arrived by ship. Control of the sea meant control of the war. Germany knew it could not defeat the Royal Navy in a direct confrontation. Britain's fleet was simply too large. Instead, Germany planned to weaken it piece by piece. The idea was simple and dangerous. Lure out part of the British fleet, destroy it, and slowly break Britain's naval dominance. That plan brought both fleets into the North Sea. The British Grand Fleet sailed under Admiral Sir John Jellicoe, a careful commander who understood one terrifying truth. He was the only man who could lose the war in a single afternoon. Opposing him was the German High Seas Fleet, led by Admiral Reinhard Scheer, aggressive, confident, and willing to take risks. At around 2 in the afternoon, British scouting cruisers spotted German ships on the horizon. Signals were sent, orders were given. Admiral David Beatty, commanding Britain's fast battlecruisers, turned south at full speed. At the same time, German Admiral Franz von Hipper did the same. Two lines of battlecruisers raced toward each other. At 3:48 p.m., the first heavy guns fired. The sea erupted with towering columns of water as shells weighing over a ton screamed through the air. German gunnery was precise and controlled. British fire was fast but less accurate. Then disaster struck. A German shell pierced the thin armor of HMS Indefatigable and detonated inside her ammunition magazines. The ship exploded violently and sank in less than 2 minutes. Out of more than 1,000 men, only 2 survived. Moments later, HMS Queen Mary was hit. Another massive explosion tore the ship apart. Thousands of sailors vanished beneath the waves in seconds. Watching his ships explode, Beatty reportedly said, "There seems to be something wrong with our bloody ships today." Despite the losses, Beatty continued south, unaware that he was being drawn directly toward the main German fleet. Then smoke appeared on the horizon. Battleships, too many of them. Beatty realized the trap. He turned north at full speed. The chase reversed. German ships now pursued the British battlecruisers, firing relentlessly. This deadly pursuit became known as the Run to the North. But Beatty had achieved something critical. He had led the Germans straight toward the full strength of the British Grand Fleet. At around 6:30 p.m., 28 British dreadnought battleships emerged from the haze, forming a massive wall of steel. Admiral Jellicoe now faced the most important decision of his life. One wrong move could expose his fleet to torpedo attack and lose Britain the war in a single moment. Jellicoe deployed his ships perfectly, forming a long battle line directly across the path of the German fleet. The British had crossed the German T. British battleships unleashed full broadsides, while German ships could reply only with their forward guns. Shells smashed into German hulls, turrets were destroyed, fires burned across decks. For the first time that day, the German fleet faced the possibility of complete annihilation. Admiral Scheer acted instantly. He ordered a desperate 180-degree turn under fire, launched massive smoke screens, and sent his destroyers charging forward in a torpedo attack. German destroyers raced straight toward the British line, forcing Jellicoe to turn away to avoid disaster. That single defensive decision saved the British fleet, but it allowed the German fleet to escape. As night fell, the battle descended into chaos. Visibility vanished, communication failed, ships passed each other unseen in the darkness. German crews trained for night combat struck hard. British cruisers were ambushed, destroyers were torpedoed. The armored cruiser HMS Black Prince unknowingly sailed straight into the German battle line. At point-blank range, she was obliterated. No one survived. When dawn broke on June 1st, the sea was littered with wreckage, oil, and bodies. Jellicoe prepared to finish the fight, but the German fleet was gone. Scheer had successfully withdrawn to port. The battle was over. Britain had lost 14 ships and more than 6,000 sailors. Germany had lost 11 ships and around 2,500 men. On paper, Germany had inflicted greater damage, but the strategic reality was brutal. Britain still controlled the sea. The naval blockade of Germany continued. The High Seas Fleet would never again seriously challenge British dominance. Germany survived the battle. Britain won the war at sea. The Battle of Jutland proved a harsh truth of naval warfare. Victory is not measured by ships sunk, but by control of the ocean. It was the final great clash of battleships, the end of an era, and a reminder that a single decision made in minutes can shape history for generations. This was the Battle of Jutland. If you want more real, detailed naval warfare stories, strategy, ships, and battles that changed history, subscribe to Naval Front, like this video, and comment below. Should Admiral Jellicoe have taken the risk and destroyed the German fleet?